facing charges in the shooting that left 2 people dead and 6 more wounded. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Hospital officials in Gaza say the death toll.
And good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. It is Friday, the first day of November. Good morning, Brett. How are you doing? I'm Ken Lundberg. Brett Witkowski and I just went outside to go see if we could see what was falling. And indeed it is.
Rain and leaves.
Rain and leaves and a random bit of trash that blew in from the parking lot because of the wind.
Hey, I'm right here.
Oh, hi. No, sorry. I'm looking to make sure.
No, you said trash blowing in. I said, yeah.
I'm looking to make sure our video live stream is working properly. So if you can, give us a quick head nod if you're out there. Not you.
Oh.
If you can hear us okay. Because they're messing with the wiring here.
Oh, boy.
As you can.
Oh, boy.
They took it out, but there was a step ladder there. The engineer's been working around. You see all these panels over here? Those are because he's got the wiring pulled out. And yeah, okay. All right, so we'll have the we'll start the video. No, we have the video going right now.
You just need someone to reply to you.
We just need somebody to nod their heads. Reply to us via comment. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
That you can hear us. That you can hear us okay. Because they're messing with the wires. And I was talking with Terry, our engineer, yesterday, and he mentioned that he's going to reprogram some buttons for me.
Well, you just got it figured out now.
I just got it figured out. And I was saying, okay, now I do this. And he said, that's a lot of buttons. I said, yeah, it's a lot of buttons. I can program this one to do this and this and this. All right. Good morning. If you're watching on the video live stream, just give us a quick comment, if you're able to let us know that you can hear us okay. We've got to come back with news in just a moment. It is the WSJM Morning Show. Oh, it's Amy Witkowski. Good morning, Amy. How are you?
So she can hear you.
Can you hear us, Amy? Just give us a yes, if you can. Otherwise, I'll stop talking, which may be what some people want.
That could up sales.
What time is our St. Joe guy coming in?
Should be any time.
Oh, is he late?
No.
Oh, what time did you tell him to be here?
7:05 to 7:10.
That's a range. Oh, she can hear us. Okay. Thank you, Amy. We appreciate you. And thank you for the candy, by the way. Did you see all the candy? Did you know that Brett brought me candy?
Yeah, she packed it up.
Oh, thank you, Amy.
If you don't want to go to road commission, one of the two.
No, this is fine. All right, we got to get back to the show. We'll be on with news in just a moment.
Credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
You're so deep in thought over there.
I'm studying.
Oh, you're studying. Good morning. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. With me this morning is my co-host. It's Brett Witkowski, who is he's studying something. What are you looking at over there?
Stats
for tonight's game.
Yep.
And we do have special guests coming in tonight. Tell us who. Or not tonight, today, this morning, this hour,
Coach
in a few minutes.
Coach Pratley from St. Joe's head coach should be in a few minutes. Then about 7:45, Coach Thompson from Lakeshore. So get a chance to talk to the two guys that make the final calls and what happens in the game.
If you have any questions or comments for the coaches, please weigh in on our comments page on our video live stream. It's live right now.
Or they say go Bears, go Lancers.
You can say go Bears, go Lancers. We could do, you know what? That's a great idea. We could do a mock election.
There you go.
Like right now.
Right.
Instead of voting for president or whomever, you can vote for Lakeshore or St. Joe.
There you go.
Go Bears, go Lancers.
All right.
One or the other. Just weigh in on the comments on our video live stream. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. And we'll have some fun today. Let's see. Let's look at the forecast for a moment. It is raining outside, by the way. We did not see rain in the forecast, but there it is. So the forecast for today apparently is now calling for some rain. Partly cloudy skies. A high today around 53 degrees. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts to 25. Tonight's forecast mostly clear. You know, speaking of wind gusts. Oh, you got a guest here?
Yep.
Well, he's not at the door yet.
Yeah,
You
well,
can
I'm trying
relax.
to be considerate.
Relax.
I'm trying
He's
to be
fine.
considerate.
Well, I mean, he's just pulling into the parking lot.
Now he's out of this truck.
Okay, you can go get him now. All right. Tonight's forecast mostly clear, low around 35, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday's forecast partly cloudy, a high around 60, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The forecast on Sunday, we're going to get some more rain showers, a 70% chance of rain. And with cloudy skies on Sunday, a low around 44, a high around 60 degrees. And we're keeping that same kind of forecast into Monday and Tuesday of next week. The highs both days are going to be around 67 degrees, and the lows both Monday and Tuesday around 60, 62 degrees. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom: local election workers say early in-person voting continues to draw a healthy turnout in Southwest Michigan. WSJM's Sean Robinson has the latest numbers.
Election Day 2024 is just around the corner, but voters have been taking part in casting their ballot early this year with early in-person voting. This is the first year that early voting started, thanks to a proposal introduced in 2022. Here in Southwest Michigan, county clerks have noted that numbers have exceeded expectations, and they are very busy since the first day of early voting, which began last Saturday. As of Thursday evening, Berrien County has seen 8,962 ballots cast during early voting. Cass County has received 3,861 ballots during early voting cast, while Van Buren County has seen 3,551 early in-person ballots cast. Sean Robinson, WSJM News.
With the presidential election less than a week away, the American Psychological Association is sending us some good vibes out there. They do say that 69% of Americans are stressed out right now about the election, and 72% are worried about the fallout after the election. Dr. Gerald Shiner is a psychiatrist in Detroit. He says anxiety is a natural reaction to uncertainty.
Everything we've been hearing for the last 2 months is how close this election is, that it's a tie. And when people face uncertainty, they get frightened. And there's a lot of uncertainty associated with the outcome of the election, both nationally and locally.
Shiner says the best thing you can do is vote and not argue about it. He says whatever the outcome, the country will prevail. Brett Witkowski, you've got some advice for people.
Just vote and move on.
Yeah, I like that.
You can't change.
Vote
at the
and
end of
move
the day,
on.
it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, worry about those things you can affect. Those
All right.
things that you can't affect, go on. And finally, in the news this morning, more people in the state of Michigan are now eligible to purchase a disabled veteran license plate in the state. A bill expanding the eligibility among partially disabled veterans was signed into law this week. The bill, sponsored by State Representative Mike McFall, expands the eligibility to veterans with a service-connected disability of 50% or more. Eric Larson with the Berrien County Veterans Service Office says this is exciting news.
Anything they do for veterans in the state of Michigan right now is a step forward in the right direction.
In addition to parking, the new plate will provide veterans with free access to Michigan state parks at no extra cost. That's some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom. We talked about voter turnout, the early turnout so far in Berrien County with the absentee and early voting. What percentage of the electorate do you think have turned out so far, Brett?
30, 35.
You are correct. You're in that range. 31.6% have already turned out to vote.
Yeah, I think at some point it'll be a third early, a third absentee, and a third day of.
I think it's going to be higher because, I mean, we've seen the early voting increase substantially just this year alone, where it went from, I think, 549 over a few days to now we've got 30, well, over, I think it was 6,000 as of yesterday, more than 6,000 as of yesterday. If that rate of increase continues, what does that do if you're early voting and you have 80 or 90% of your vote in before election day?
Well,
talk about anxiety.
Well, and I think election day or election season has gone from election day to election month.
Yeah.
And so people are candidates making a last minute pitch, but when half the people have voted.
Yeah. All right.
Is it worth it?
Okay. We have a guest in studio.
We do.
This morning. Would you care to introduce your guest?
We have 6-year head coach, Coach Pratley, and it's a stressful day for him. I mean,
is it really?
Sure. This is a big game.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
Let me make sure
his mic on.
I'll make sure his mic. Fine. Okay. No, he could hear. You were just talking. You were talking too much.
Oh.
Coach Pratley, thank you for joining us and welcome to the studio.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's good to have you here. The first most pressing question is Bob Costas, fan or foe?
I love Bob Costas.
See? Who doesn't love Bob Costas?
I don't.
That doesn't surprise me.
You ready? Ready for tonight's game?
Yeah, ready to go.
What are we thinking?
We got we got a few hours left to go, so we got a lot of work to do at school and other business today. But
Okay.
once 4 o'clock rolls around, get the team dinner, things start to settle in, and be ready to go.
Excellent. We would love to talk to you about the game. We're going to do that, start that interview in just a moment. We do have some more sports to cover. Dave Wolf has our sports report, and then we're going to come back to this interview. We're going to start it actually right now on the video live stream. So if you want to see some of that exclusive content, tune in on Facebook or YouTube right now. We've got the cameras on and the microphones on and everything else. We'll start that interview now, and then we'll come back with Coach Prattley in just a couple of minutes, right here on WSJM.
Attention Southwest Michigan. Are you a young professional with a big idea? Then get ready for Hype, highlighting young professional excellence. Brought to you by the
There's just a couple of buttons there. Good morning, and thank you again for joining us, Coach Prattley, St. Joe Bears. What's your nickname? Are you Papa Bear, Coach Bear, Super Bear?
I have no nickname.
Really?
No.
Okay, you refuse.
We'll have to find one for you.
Know.
Give us just I love to ask people their backgrounds. Give us just a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
I think part of it was my dad, who was a Hall of Fame coach in Frankfort High School, where I grew up. He's an assistant coach his whole life, and still is. I think he's like year 42 or something.
He's still
with me
coaching.
right now. He's our tight ends coach. So
Okay.
yeah. So it's grew up around the game, and I was a part of a pretty good program up there. We went to 5 state finals in kind of my middle school and high school career. Got to play when I was a sophomore in the state finals. So really good program. Started off in college coaching at Adrian High School for a year while I was student teaching, and then went to Mayo High School, a little small school in Northeast Michigan. Became the offensive coordinator there for 4 years, and then took over as a head coach at Ogama Heights for 9 years. Moved to Holland as a head coach for 6, and then this is year 6 here in St. Joe.
Wow, that's awesome. How's your record the time that you're here at St. Joe?
I think we're doing pretty well, but I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
I've got it.
See, yeah, I see. I knew he would
that's
because
why
he's
you asked
Mr.
me.
Stats Master.
44 and 18. So anytime you
That's
win
pretty
70% of your games,
44 and
that's good.
18. Okay, all right. What's the key? How do you win?
Great kids, great support, and great coaches. I'm blessed with a great staff, great community to support, and we have great kids that work hard.
Okay. So in a moment, we'll ask you a little bit about tonight's game. What do you think the key factors are? And then whatever else Brett Witkowski wants to ask you as well, because he's the stat keeper, so he knows where all the secrets lie about what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I think he jinxed us last week.
Uh-oh.
High scoring offense. We got 15 on the board, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have brought that up.
Like I told him, there's only one stat that matters. So.
We'll continue this interview in just a moment right here on WSJM.
But much lighter winds. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
And good morning. It's 7:15. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got some rainfall. 45 degrees outside in Benton Harbor right now. We're seeing similar temperatures all across Southwest Michigan. We're fortunate enough this morning to have a special guest in studio. It's Coach Prattley for St. Joseph High School football. And we were talking just a moment ago about his background. If you miss any part of this interview, it's on our video live stream. But the one thing that I want to ask Brett before I turn you loose on the coach is there's an underdog in this game tonight. Tonight is the first playoff game. It's St. Joe Bears versus the Lakeshore Lancers. There's an underdog in the game. It's not you. Did you expect that the first playoff game would be against Lakeshore?
We're used to that. Obviously, when you live so close to each other and the only Division III schools in the area, it's a probability. Obviously, kind of in the middle of the year, they were struggling a little bit, but they put some things together and got a big win last week that gave them the right to be in. And I know there's a lot of discussion about 3 and 6 team getting in, but one of the things we changed as an association several years ago was rewarding teams for playing tough schedules and not having teams get in just because they played weak schedules. And so, this is kind of proof of concept and really rewarding teams that have played a tough schedule. And, we're excited for our first round playoff game. Didn't matter who we were playing, but obviously it's a little bit bigger a deal in the community now. So,
yeah, I mean, it seems to me, and correct me if you think differently, but you've got everything to lose. They've got everything to win. How do you go up against a team like that?
I mean, for us, it's about us and our goals. And we set forth at the beginning of the year with a veteran group. We had a lot of kids coming back from last year's team, and we set 5 goals, and we've been able to reach 6 goals. We were able to reach 3 of those, and we have three more to go. And so for us, it's just a matter of continuing our journey and what we set out to do.
Excellent. One of the people who's going to be in the booth calling tonight is Brett Witkowski. Brett, what do you got?
For you, Coach, how important is to be able to have a playoff game and hopefully maybe more at home versus having to go on the road?
Yeah, I think it's huge for us. Obviously, we have a great stadium, great support in the community, and so to see Dickinson's, packed and it gives our band an opportunity to continue to perform and cheerleaders to be out in home crowd, and student body support at home is obviously a lot bigger than it is on the road. So it's just more of a school feel when we can get home, and so to earn the right to be home as long as we keep winning for the first 3 weeks is a good thing. And so we're excited to get going tonight and see if we can continue another one next week.
How hard is it playing a team a second time? And it seems to happen a lot with St. Joe and Lakeshore with the playoffs and how they're set up. But how is that from a staff and a coach, and from your point of view with the players and stuff like that to play a team twice?
Yeah, it's unique. Obviously, in football, obviously, at most sports, you end up playing a team twice, whether it's a doubleheader in baseball, softball, or a rotation where you go home and away with a basketball or volleyball situation potentially. But it's unique in football. I don't love the idea of playing a team twice, regardless of who they are, just because there is things that you've done once, and so how do you change when you win a game, or so on and so forth. I think we're in a unique situation this year where we kind of got thrown a curveball on Thursday at practice and that first game, and so we had to make some significant changes to our game plan that first week for some around, and so for us, kind of able to go back to our original game plan a little bit more, both sides of the ball, and change some things up. So it's a little unique this year with our situation that most of the time when you've won a game, you don't want to change too much because obviously whatever you did the first time worked. But in our case, we feel like there were some things we weren't able to do the first game because of the curveball we got thrown, and we're ready to kind of roll out a different game plan this time around.
This time of year, the weather can play havoc with game plans. Do you have your plays that you hope to run with good weather, and then if the weather goes south, it's like all of a sudden one's supposed to rain, it's raining today? Do you have a game plan that changes to that, especially more on the offensive side?
Yeah, I think one of the beauties of what we do offensively is that we can always, we can grind with people if we need to. And I think last week was a testament to that, getting a big physical football game with Porter Central and kept it on the ground for a lot of the game and took shots when we needed to. And we're able to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. So I think with the veteran guys we have up front on both sides, we feel comfortable getting in a dogfight in the trenches if we have to. But we think we've got some kids that can get into a shootout as well, as we saw, homecoming night. So I think we're built to win either way. It's just a matter of execution for us.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, let's remind people that we're talking. We have the good fortune of talking with Coach Prattley, St. Joe Bears. We'll talk with the coach of the Lakeshore Lancers later on this hour. Brett, go ahead. Sorry.
How big was that stop last week against Porter Central? You had your trick play. It looked like it was going to work, and the ball kind of hung up in the wind there for a little while and got picked off. They go down to the 2.5 yard line, and you guys end up stymieing them on 4th and goal. Then you go 97 yards. How big was that from the mental side, momentum side, especially being on the road?
Yeah, I think it was huge. Obviously, the plan wasn't to go and throw the ball as an interception, but we always call those strike up the band plays. Somebody's band's going to be playing, and unfortunately for us, that it wasn't ours. And so our defense had to make a stand, and they did. And then I think equally as important was us going 97 yards for a touchdown right back to back. So just really a lot of confidence for both sides of the ball, and gave us some momentum, and really that we never let go of.
For you have committed to try to start 22 players at the varsity level. I know it's your commitment at the lower levels to keep kids playing. Probably one of the main reasons you have so many guys dressing. How many are you going to have dressed tonight?
We have some injuries, but there'll be 93 on the roster tonight. So.
Gee whiz.
There's some schools.
93 on the roster. You ever think about playing 8-man football instead? Just for fun? No.
How important has it been to you, say, last 2 years, your commitment to stay with the 22 starters for the most part? Because I think if people go to the game, once the offense is on the field, your defense comes and you guys are watching the screen to see what just happened.
Yeah, I think it's a huge advantage for us, and I praise our middle school coaches and lower level guys for sticking to that plan. Sometimes it'd be easier to maybe throw the best 2 or 3 studs out there and play the whole game, but we really feel like valuable to us at the varsity level to play 22 different starters at each level. They at the 7th, 8th, 9th, and JV level, we 2 platoon completely. We do have 2 players, Blake Ciccarello and Nate Schmidt, that get a little time on either side of the ball for us at the varsity level, but even they are pretty much dedicated to one side or the other, and then just kind of work a little bit on the other. So we've limited them kind of offensively the last few weeks, but we might need to open them up as the playoff season comes on and use them a little more. But it's a huge advantage, an opportunity for our defensive staff to go to the sidelines and correct things and point out things on film, and same thing on the offensive side. So the more kids that can focus on one thing, I think it's been better, and it's proven to be a great thing for us over the last few years. And with the numbers we have coming up, something that will continue.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. How many more questions you got, Brad? You're good.
I can go all day in football.
So that's why I'm cutting you off.
That's fine. Fair enough.
I'm curious, Coach Bradley, when you go in, when you're having a rough first half, or if you're starting off a little bit slow, you've been having a great season, by the way. What's it like in the locker room at halftime? What are you saying to the kids? How does this come off? What's your style?
Yeah, it just depends on the team, the year, the game. I tend to be pretty chill most of the time, but the kids know if I get a little riled up, they know. It's just
you get riled up this year?
We may have gotten riled up a few weeks ago a little bit, but honestly, Coach Graz took care of that against Battle Creek Central. We felt like we had a very average start. He kind of came in and I guess put the bad cop role on a little bit. And
all right. So you're good
corrected.
cop. You got assistance for bad cop.
We trade roles a little bit sometimes, but this year it's been mostly chill. We felt like at Mattawan, we're a veteran team. They know what to expect. They know what they needed to do, and it didn't work out, obviously. But it was a good lesson for our kids, and I think that we're ready to roll in the playoff and an opportunity to host 3 games, and that's a huge deal for us. So we got to take care of our business tonight and play well, and try and keep this train rolling.
Any tricks up your sleeve? Trick plays we watch for?
Always tricks. They didn't work last week, but there's always tricks. We'll never know. We'll see how it goes.
Anything that you don't have that you are working on getting before tonight's game?
No.
Okay.
I'm just excited to get going. Yeah.
You're ready to go. All right. Anything else, Brett?
Do you, as a head coach, have to stop yourself from overcoaching sometimes? Because I think I've seen that from coaches, where it's just too much for the kids.
Well, I think we have a good system in place with great coaches, and we have our base stuff. That's one of the beauties of what we do. And we had the youth program when I got here. I remember sitting in the studio when I first got hired with the youth program and talking about that connection, the importance of it. And so, a lot of these kids have been running our base concepts for the last 6 years, and that's all of middle school and high school for these kids. We'll start to get some of those youth kids through. They're juniors now, and so we can run a base package pretty confidently at every level, and so it allows us some freedom because we're 2 platoon. We get deeper into the playbook, than we normally would, because we can, they don't have to focus on other things. So we have packages that we work on every week, certain situations, 10-minute periods that we do different stuff in. And so, one thing that we'll have them ready if we need them. And we've had to use some of those a few weeks. And sometimes we just stick with what we do well. And so we'll just see what the game plan calls for and adjust accordingly.
Final 2 questions. Number 1, anything else we should be asking you about this morning? Anything else you want to tell us?
Gosh, I don't think so.
Okay, then the second question is, who's faster, the fastest player on your team or Brett Witkowski when the pizza and the cookies get into the press booth?
Well, it'd be nice if I ever got up to the press box with some pizza and cookies. So I can't actually speak to that.
Yeah, your coach has put it down pretty good.
And I do think there's a difference between quickness and speed.
Okay.
Right? Like, you don't have to go very far in the press box.
No.
So he might win the quickness battle.
That's
I think
true.
we got him in the speed battle.
You should have seen him last
bit.
week when there were cookies in the studio.
I can still sprint.
If this had been an Egyptian Rubik's Cube puzzle box, he would have figured it out in like 2.5 seconds.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
one day I want to challenge your lineman to a 40-yard.
Oh, don't do that, Brad.
It depends on what 40, what lineman, because you're not going to win those battles.
Not all of them, but I think I can beat a few. So
I think Rusty and Jackson probably have you for sure, but you might be able to get Jacob.
Coach Bradley, thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate you. Do well.
Appreciate it. Hope to see everybody out at Dickinson tonight. It's a crisp fall evening, which is what it should be this time of year. It's going to be great weather, and put on a coat and grab a blanket and come out and support the local kids in both communities.
Absolutely.
Crowd's important, isn't it?
Amen. Like the energy.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Coach Bradley. We appreciate you joining us on the WSJM Morning Show.
Would you call free checking that pays you cash back on purchases unbelievable? No. It's free checking called Thrive Cashback, and it also gives you free ATM access nationwide every month you qualify with no monthly fees ever. Get your Thrive Cashback account at a Sturgis Bank office near you or visit us at sturgis.bank to learn more. Qualifications, rules, and limitations apply. Rates, rewards, and restrictions may vary by account. Contact Sturgis Bank for details. Member FDIC.
With a budget of more than $29 million, nearly 200 employees, and multiple divisions.
See, I told you he was going to be nice. I told you there was nothing to be afraid of. He did great.
I can breathe.
No, that was good. That was good. Thanks for arranging that.
And there's a lot of stress on these men. There's a lot of pressure from the community.
Yeah, big time.
And I
can't imagine going to the grocery store after this game.
Yeah, well, you probably avoid that, but
if you lost.
The thing I always admire of the coaches is one of them's going to win or lose.
Yeah,
and they come right on coach's show, and if you're the losing coach, it's not easy.
Yeah, you've got them both coming on tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll come on and win or lose, both of them, and both have the right attitude and good examples for young men to follow and watch.
That's excellent. Let's check our video live stream. Let's see. Yeah, I've got to get all these mouses in order now. All these mice. Okay. So we've got a good morning, howdy, and good morning from John Hawkins. Good morning and howdy, John. There we go. Now I have 3 mice over here.
Do you know which? I hope you remember which is which.
I know exactly which one is which. Diane says, good morning. Have a great day, everyone. Good morning, Bill. Bill says, good morning and welcome to Friday. Yeah, thank goodness it's Friday. That's a long week. I don't know why it was a long week.
Yeah, it wasn't long for me, but
it was long for everybody.
I gave blood on Tuesday. Usually
that's right.
Zaps me.
So is this a donation type deal?
Yeah, I try to give 3 or 4 times a year. I have O negative, and
okay,
I think I'm at 70 or 72 donations.
Of course, you know the stats on your blood donations.
I just can't remember exactly. Let me look at the app.
How many times do you twist the doorknob before you go into a building?
Just grab
3 times
it and go,
and then go in.
Roll.
Okay.
Let's see.
OCD. Let's see. Bill
I
says,
found my blood journey too.
What do you mean?
They tell you where your blood's going and where it's at in the process.
That's kind of cool. Who do you donate through? Do you donate through Versiti?
I do Red Cross.
Versiti?
Oh,
you did
78 times I've donated.
78 pints?
Yeah.
They take a pint at a time?
I did a double one once. That was kind of
hard.
Did you
really?
Yeah, that was a little harder on me.
Yikes.
78 times.
Huh. I think you pretty much do it for the orange juice and the cookie, though.
I didn't grab any of that.
Really?
No,
You're supposed to.
I usually just get up and go.
Huh.
One more, I'll have 10 gallons.
10 gallons.
Two more, excuse me. And I have those pins that they give you. I put them in my office.
That's very nice of you to do. That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's a lot. I've donated blood as well, and I didn't really think about it too much until somebody I knew needed blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think, oh gosh, that is literally life-saving fluid right there. So
yeah,
good on you for doing
that.
That
Was my father when I was 9 years old had that. He was a mailman in Benton Harbor.
Yeah.
They found him passed out in his truck.
Ew.
And found out he had a bleeding ulcer.
Oh wow.
And they had to rush him to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to there was no local blood. They had to bring it by state police.
Oh geez.
From Lansing.
Yikes. So the police brought blood in.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And sadly, it was contaminated.
Oh no.
Hepatitis. But they didn't check it back then.
Oh, and so he got
This is
hepatitis.
1978.
So he got hepatitis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hepatitis.
unfortunate.
Yeah, he didn't find out till 1998 or something like that.
Huh. Yeah, because you wouldn't think, right?
No, the only reason he found out, he just found doctor asked him, "Hey, you want to be part of this study for prostate?" And they're like, okay. So part of it was a blood test every couple months, and they found it.
Wow. All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We're on the video live stream. We've got news coming up in just a couple of minutes here. We're listening to the Bloomberg Market Minute. And we've got Coach Thompson coming in. What time you told him to be here? 7:40?
Yep. He should be here shortly, too.
Okay. We'll see how Brett reacts there.
Oh, fine. We get along good. I owe him a dozen donuts, actually.
Do you really?
Yeah. So
Did you bring donuts in?
No, I have them for him tomorrow morning.
Man.
I have 10 free donuts coming from a location. So
you're not paying for them yourself?
No, thankfully I have enough reward points. So
I bet you do.
I do. So
All
I
right.
only got to buy 2 of them.
I've got my Halloween video I want to show soon.
Aren't they a day late?
They could be. I've got my holiday video, the Halloween video that we're showing in just a moment right here on WSJM.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
I think the computer was waiting for us to show the Halloween video that I have. I took a short Halloween video. I'm going to show it on the video live stream here in just a moment because there was somebody with what I thought was a really creative costume. It wasn't
It was cool.
It was really cool, and especially if you're a Star Wars fan, I think you'll appreciate it. It wasn't my favorite, and I
up there though.
I typically don't have favorites, but it was very cool. And my favorite was the little Cat in the Hat kids who were just, I mean, seriously, they must have been maybe 2-3 years old.
That's
so super cute, and they knew what they were doing because they got a lot of candy. It's 7:32. It's the WSJM morning show. Let's check the conditions outside because it was raining a second ago, but we've got some rain. So don't be surprised if you see that or feel that. 46 degrees and windy in Benton Harbor, 48 already and windy in St. Joseph, still 41 degrees in South Haven right now. Down in New Buffalo, it's 45 degrees. Dowagiac's reporting 44 with those windy conditions. We'll have a look at ABC News. That's coming up next. And then we have also the latest from our WSJM newsroom. Later on this hour, Coach Thompson, Lakeshore Lancers football, they're playing against St. Joe. We appreciate, by the way, we super appreciate Coach Pratley for coming in and talking with us this morning, and Brett Witkowski suggested and arranged that, so thank you, Brett, for doing that. But we've got a whole lot more coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A teenage suspect is being held at an overnight shooting at a Halloween event in downtown Orlando, Florida. 2 people were killed in the shooting, 6 more wounded. Police still don't have a motive. With just 4 days left until the election, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will both be hitting a Midwest battleground today. They each have events in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In Glendale, Arizona last night, Trump saying he has a unique speaking style.
Somebody said, does he ramble? I said, I don't ramble. I do the weave. I covered many subjects. And you always come back to the right. That's genius. There's a difference between rambling and genius.
During that same interview, Trump calling former GOP Congresswoman Liz Cheney a war hawk who should have guns trained on her face. Cheney responding this morning saying this is how dictators destroy free nations. They threaten those who speak against them with death. She's a Harris supporter. 65 million Americans have already voted, women outpacing men in early balloting 55 to 45%. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM News Central, we have a few things. News Central. Because, I mean, this is pretty much the center of the universe where we're talking about football this morning.
At least Napier Avenue.
At least Napier Avenue, center of the universe football, because we have Lakeshore versus St. Joe. And again, we'll have a special guest in studio. We've already had one special guest this morning, the Coach Pratley from the St. Joseph High School. Later on, we'll have Lakeshore Lancers high school football coach Thompson coming in. And in fact, I think he's at the door. Would you mind going and getting him?
I'll let him.
Come on, just let him in. That'd be fine. All right, and in just a few minutes, we'll have a roundup of state news from the Michigan News Network, and then we'll also have sports. Some of the news that we're covering this morning, the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office says one person is dead and another is in custody in the Sister Lakes area of Keeler Township. Sheriff Daniel Abbott reports that yesterday morning, about 5:30 a.m., deputies responded to a report of a break and enter in progress at a residence in Sister Lakes. On arrival, officers found an unresponsive 55-year-old woman in the residence. Life-saving measures were attempted, but unfortunately she succumbed to her injuries. The victim's identity is being withheld at this time. The sheriff's office says a suspect, a 23-year-old man from Benton Harbor, was located nearby and taken into custody. A statement from the sheriff's office says no further information is being released at this time as the investigation is ongoing. Other news, the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber and the Southwestern Michigan Association of Realtors are hosting a 2-day event addressing the region's housing crisis. The summit, to be held in early December, will feature civil engineer, urban planner, and author Charles Marone. He's the author of the book Strong Towns that covers how communities can refocus their development and rebuild prosperity. We'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up at 8 o'clock. And also, as you're getting ready to go deer hunting, if you're part of that rifle hunt that starts in mid-November, the DNR has a message. Watch out for some of the deer illnesses that are being found in Michigan. Among those, chronic wasting disease. We've not found that in Southwest Michigan right now, but it's close. It's been found in Kent, Ionia, and Eaton counties. They're also looking at episodic hemorrhagic disease, which is also known as EHD. It's been found this year recently in Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties. So we'll tell you what that means. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning on the WSJM newscast right after ABC News. It's 7:36. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning to a special guest who's in studio, Coach Thompson. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. You?
I'm doing well, thank you. We're talking a little bit of football. We'll talk in just a moment, if that's all right.
That's fine.
We'll start on the video live stream. So Lakeshore Lancers, I called you an underdog. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay. So we'll talk about the game that's happening tonight at Dickinson Stadium on the video live stream. We'll start that interview now, but we've got more news to cover with Michigan News Network right here on WSJM.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. Dearborn receives its first presidential visit.
All right, it's the video live stream interview, and we've got Coach Thompson here. He's the coach of the high school football team, the Lakeshore Lancers. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you for having us. It's been great.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming in this morning. How difficult was it to get you into the studio this morning? I know Brett arranged this.
Not too bad, you know.
Okay.
Already up, ready for school, so I just had to ask the boss, and he gave me the okay, so it worked out.
Excellent. Did you know that Brett did not bring any donuts to this morning? He apparently owes you donuts.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, but he did apologize, so I guess it's okay.
He'll have them tomorrow
There's
morning.
always tomorrow, which
Why-
is good.
Why? Sorry, Brett, if you already talked about
Nope,
this, but
I
why
didn't.
does he owe you donuts?
So we bet the Michigan,
Well, let
Texas.
him- let him-
Okay,
let
I'll let
him
you
tell.
tell him. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a big Michigan Wolverines fan.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get Brett to see the light at his age, but
He's not a
you know.
he's not a Wolverines fan.
No, unfortunately,
How have we not talked about this?
You want to know why?
Yeah,
So
in like 2 words or less.
no, I can't say it. 2 words.
All right.
It takes 30 seconds.
All right. Whatever you feel like. Go.
My neighbors that live 2 houses away from us were obnoxious Michigan fans, and I just could not stand them. The stupid thing I did when I was a senior, Bo Schembeckler sent me a letter.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you want to come up and watch us practice for Fiesta Bowl, and I give you 2 tickets
Okay.
to Chrysler to watch Michigan play
Yeah.
basketball." You know what I said?
30 seconds.
I'm good.
Oh, and that was it.
That was it. Never heard another letter. Never got another letter from Bo.
Coach, what do you think?
That was just stupid.
If I got 2 tickets, I'd go right now.
So you bet. What was the bet?
We bet the Texas Michigan game for some donuts, and unfortunately, it wasn't a good day for us.
No, he paid up.
So now then we bet the Michigan State game, and little brother lost. So
Yep, and I got to pay. So I'll be happy to pay tomorrow.
Excellent.
So we'll bring those to coaches. May probably eat. I told him I can't promise if all 12 get there though.
same thing that happened when I paid him up. So we're even.
Yeah, I tell you, you put a box of donuts or a box of cookies or something else like 40 yards away. Brett is the fastest man on the planet.
That's right. That's why I told Coach Pratt I want to challenge Lyman to a sprint, but there's got to be something at the end though.
Yeah,
I think I could beat him.
I want donuts on that one.
as we like to do on the WSJM morning show when we have folks in. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. For those who don't know you, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town in Western Michigan called Middleville. And then went to college, tried to get into coaching and teaching, couldn't find a job. So I found myself in Florida for 5 years, and there was a lot of growing up there. And I think that's the reason I could stay in education for 30 years.
Yeah.
Was blessed to marry my high school sweetheart. And we had a kid, so we decided we want to come back up to Middleville. And then I coached and taught with a guy named Jeff Dock that a lot of your listeners probably know.
Oh, yeah.
Then I met this legend named Denny Dock. Didn't know much about him, kind of scared me a little bit. But we formed a good relationship, and then kind of things shook out. He came back down here and started coaching Lakeshore for a year, and then it came back open. And he said I should give it a shot, and here we are. So started in the classroom for a couple of years, and now just moved to the Dean of Students, a little new role, but I'm excited to be in Lakeshore. It's a great community, and just great to be a part with my family.
Congratulations on the move. What do you do as Dean of Students?
I'm a student advocate, basically. So basically, if getting kids have any problems, they can come to me. And then I'm also in charge of some disciplinary things I don't like to do, but part of the job. But the biggest thing is just being open for the kids, and then the at-risk population fall under me as well. So it's a pretty important role. I'm excited to be part of it.
That's awesome. Earlier this week, I saw a Facebook post from Al Pasholka talking about Lakeshore Lancers and commending the kids on the character development that has happened this year. facing the what they thought would be a losing season and really just sticking together and building. Did you see his remarks?
Al did a great job. I think he summed it all up for all of us. And you go 0-6, especially in a place like Lakeshore, which is great because they have expectations. That's a lot for kids, and especially kids in 2024 that can easily mail it in. And that's a testament to our teacher, or our seniors, and then all of our kids, and then our parents, the people that raised them, that a lot of 0-6 teams would just mail it in, but they kept on fighting. They got that little bit of success, and then here we are.
Yeah. What were your words? What did you share with the team when you were looking at that season?
It's just this detail stuff, right? And then the great thing about Lakeshore is having so many people still connected and want to help out because they had such a great experience when they were here. So we actually brought some speakers in. We brought had coaches talk that played, and just to keep your eye on the prize. And then that thing about football to me is about teaching these young people about life. And life hit them hard the first 6 weeks, but they were able to overcome it. So just kind of having that message that there's still stuff in front of us and we got to keep on playing, and no matter if it's good or not, that's called life. You got to get after it. And our kids rose to the occasion.
Yeah. Talk about the speaker that you brought in. Who was that?
A couple. So we'll start with our staff. We did one of the theme weeks was a great man of Lakeshore. And I think I have some of the best staff in the state. So all of them got to talk about one thing that they thought made them successful in life. So from the staff was probably number one. And then we brought in some guys from just different teams over the years. That was good. So it was awesome to see.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. We're going to get back and talk more with Coach Thompson about the game tonight. He's going to reveal his entire playbook for us and his strategy, right? No?
You need to have more donuts.
We need more donuts. We'll have that interview here on WSJM in just a moment. Let's see what's we're checking in on the comments. People are putting in a lot of icons. Let's see. Jennifer has put up a heart and a football and a heart and a football. So she also said, go St. Joe Bears. Let's see. Good morning, Coach T. Let's go Red. We believe. Debbie Ramirez. So all kinds of good
Great
stuff.
support there from Debbie.
Good support all over. All right. We're going to continue this interview in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Stay tuned.
This is Alec Austin. I'm here for you.
And this is Tom Austin, and I'm here for you. Advisory services offered by Capital Asset Advisory Services, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Taking the fear out of your future. Austin Tax and Financial.
Partly sunny skies today, so we'll see a mix of the sun and clouds, but it's going to be chilly. The wind coming off of that lake out of the northwest. 53 will be our high this afternoon. Clear skies tonight. The winds will die down a little bit. We'll drop down to 35. And then for tomorrow, 60 with a mix of the sun and clouds, but much lighter winds. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Pujol.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're 15 minutes before 8 o'clock. Good morning. And we're continuing. There's a game tonight.
There is.
I don't know if you know this. It's a playoff game. I don't know, 7 o'clock? Is that what time?
Well, I'm asking you now.
That's what I'm guessing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
See, I got it. I know foosball.
Ken's not a big sports guy.
I love the sports. I love the competition. It's just I find I put 110% of myself into my emotions for a game, and then, inevitably the outcome happens.
He's Seattle Mariners.
Well, because I had dealt with the Seattle Mariners forever. And the Seahawks before they got good.
It's the reason I'm not a Lions fan. So
because they kept disappointing, right?
So I'm a Niners fan.
Oh, there you go. But I do call myself a Detroit Lions fan now, so I can
decide to pick up on that.
Well, because they were doing well.
They're doing well. I figured that.
No, anyway, because I'm a Michigander. The wearing Lakeshore red in the studio right now is Coach Thompson, sitting right next to Brett Witkowski, who calls games with Joel Cordes for the St. Joe Bears. Big game tonight, Coach. Welcome to the studio. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We were talking with Coach Pratley just a few moments ago, and I put the question to him. I'll put the same question to you. You're coming in, I think it's okay to say, as the underdog. How does that make you feel, and what are you going to do?
We just got here, and that's the big thing. Is we went into last week saying to our kids, "Hey, there's a very small chance we get in the playoffs," and we put ourselves in the situation. But to get a chance, you got to win. Our kids stepped up, so I'm feeling good, and there's a lot of pressure on them, and get another chance to beat the rivals. That's always a good. And I told the seniors and the rest of the team, before the season, we had these goals in front of us, and we still have all those goals attainable. So let's go out there and give them a good game.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, basically, the other team, they've got everything to lose. You've got everything to win.
Absolutely. And this is a different kind of game. And when I got the job, people were like, wait till you play St. Joe. The Water by the Shore is going to be different. Yeah. And I was like, I've been part of rivalries. It's not different. And then I showed up at the stadium the first time, and it was different. The towns get up to it. And I think that's the greatest thing about this gym I called now when I talk to my friends of Southwest Michigan is these communities care so much about their schools and what the kids are doing. And that's in all their extracurricular activities, not just sports. So it's going to be fun for, both communities tonight. We get to go on there and give both communities a show. And my hope is the Lancers come up on top.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hear that game called play-by-play tonight on 2 radio stations, right? We're doing it on WSJM.
Correct.
You can hear from the Bears' perspective. If we want to hear from the Lancers' perspective, it's over on our country station, Y Country. But Brett Witkowski is going to be on WSJM. And thanks for arranging this interview.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, Coach, for you as a head coach with a young team, how big is it to at least have and who knows, at least one extra week with these guys? I mean, you got 10% of your season added to you.
Yeah, I think it's one thing that people don't think about. It's like the extra week of practice just gives us more time with those kids to prepare. And, we had a very good freshman team when we brought 13 kids up. So that's another 13 kids that got another week in expectations. And then it's just fun being around the kids. It's like you're never totally ready to be done. You don't look forward to it. So you get one more week to do all the fun stuff. And so it's been a great week of practice and super excited about the game.
I know we've talked about this on Coach's show. When you were 0-6 in the last 3, we had kind of talked how important it was for you with the young team to have good starts. And I assume that's still the same scenario here.
I think we got the recipe from week 10 now of what we need.
You got it right now. Okay.
And it's a thing like that. And I thought our team needed to see it. Now, what I'm really excited about now is we see the success. When adversity hits, I think we're going to be better prepared for it. I think in a couple of weeks this year, adversity hit us and we weren't ready. And, if you're losing, you kind of have that down mentality. Unfortunately, it's harder to overcome. And sometimes we struggled there. But in Portage Northern, there are some things that swung some different ways, that adversity again. And there was kind of a different kind of beat to it. And, we were able to come back and drive down the field and do what we're supposed to. So I'm looking for that to carry over in this game for sure.
At this time of year, I think the weather obviously plays a big part. How in tune are you to the weather forecast because you throw the ball a lot, you'd like to. So obviously the weather can affect that a lot.
So not to say that I'm a weatherman by any means, but there might be a couple apps, and I'm blessed to have some self-proclaimed weathermen on my staff. So it's funny. They tell me different things too. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, we definitely check it, and it plays into anything. You're in Michigan and you're Southwest Michigan off the lake. So that could play into it. So we've got to be very choosy, and we go in the game plan with knowing, okay, if we have super big wins, this is what we can do. Now having a quarterback that can sling it with, some velocity helps you. Not saying they can overcome all of Mother Nature, but we feel pretty good most times still throwing the football.
And then for you, health-wise, I know the first time St. Joe Lakeshore played, you were banged up, especially at the wide out position. You seem pretty healthy. It seems like last week I think you lost somebody, but for the most part.
Yeah, we got 2 big ones. Now Caleb Stanky's been just one of those kids on defense that's been there all year for us at corners, had a great senior season. Unfortunately, he broke his collarbone, so that's going to be a big one to overcome tonight. And then our guard, Logan Boyle, or we call him our road graders, big kid up front. He has a high ankle sprain, but he gave practice a go yesterday. He's probably 50-50 for the game tonight. So that, but getting Caden back and some other pieces like Riley Giannopoulos healthy in the secondary. We have some pieces in the secondary to help us out with Caleb. And then we have some more young guys that need to step up if Boyle can't give it a go tonight.
How happy are you for your seniors? Because this is your group.
Yeah, I
to
call
be able to get this extra week at least.
Yeah, I call them my babies, for 4 years, and
Right.
so they only know me, so they can. That's good or bad, I'm not sure. But just to see it in their eyes, especially, I go back to Avery Kensel, one of my seniors that called me on Friday night because there a lot of things had to happen for us to get in the playoffs, and he called me at like 11:30 or midnight. He's like, "Coach, I think we're in." I go, "Well, we got one more thing, but go to bed." But this excitement.
While you're still up.
Excitement in his voice is excitement from the seniors and their parents, and just the whole Lakeshore community. There's a kind of a newfound excitement in there, and hopefully to carry that into tonight and do what we're supposed to.
And what Kenan brought up and what's Al's comments, you guys could have cashed it 0-6. Everybody could have, players, coaches, whatever, and just said we're working on next year. How did that affect you as a coach? Because I think every coach takes losses personal, otherwise it wouldn't be a coach.
Yeah, I got a big apology coming from my wife.
Uh-oh.
Tell her I love her. Thank you, Sarah. For all I do. And that's just because, like you said, the hours that you put into as a coach and these players and stuff, a lot of people just, they show up on Friday, and, here's a product. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that, and especially when you're 0-6. But all of our coaches to a man on there, we're probably the most competitive people. So when you take loss after loss after loss, it kind of takes a toll. But that's when I kind of look in the mirror and, the words from my mother is, when you think it's bad, there's somebody out there that has it worse than you. Basically suck it up. So, and, you've got to go work harder. So our coaches doubled down, and, we had to look for every little thing to make sure our kids had the best ability to win and make them keep believing. I called a lot of mentors in my life that helped me along the way. Just in those encouraging messages. So thank you to all those people, who you are. And then once you get that little success, all of a sudden things start changing. I think we've seen that the last couple of weeks, and I think that'll carry into the game tonight.
That's fantastic. Coach Thompson, we really appreciate you coming through. Anything else we should be asking you this morning?
Let's go Lancers, baby.
All right. You want to give a prediction of the game?
Lancers win.
Okay. We'll explore that more later after the game tonight. No, thank you very much, Coach Thompson. We appreciate you coming in this morning and talking about Lakeshore Lancer football. Love the stories that you shared about how you kept the team going and motivated during that period of the first 6 games. And if you missed any part of this interview, just go back on our YouTube or on our Facebook page and listen to it. I think you'll find it valuable. So thank you again for coming in. And hopefully at some point, Brett will pay up on the donuts that he owes you.
Tomorrow morning, man.
10 donuts? Why didn't you bet
a dozen?
Oh, you bet a dozen.
Yeah, I said I can't promise if I'll.
Oh, you're saying 10 are going to get delivered. You're going to buy a dozen.
Yeah.
Baker's
dozen.
I'll be good with 6. It's fine.
All right. Coach, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you. It's 7:54. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
It's time to get your vehicle ready for fall and winter. At Enders Auto Repair, their 30 years of experience is here to help. Tune-ups, coolant flushes, testing your battery, checking your tires, fixing your heater. Terry Enders knows how to get your car and truck ready for cold weather. At Enders Auto Repair, they do it all. You can depend on Enders, where experience runs deep. 30 years deep. Enders Auto Repair, Red Arrow Highway, just south of Stevensville.
Are you sick of personal?
That was good. That was good. Thanks thank you for arranging that.
Both good men.
Yeah, absolutely.
They coach for the right reasons.
Good. Absolutely. And let me make sure that we're on track here. We are not, so I will do that. We'll come back a little bit earlier. All right, let me show my video real quick. Okay, this on the video live stream, this is what I saw last night. It'll start over again here. Here, play. Okay, there it is. Look at this. Look at the little robot guy. How cool is that? You can't see it over there, Brad.
No, I believe you.
Okay.
Well, you showed me already. I thought it was
I
pretty
did
cool.
show you already. But anyway, so I thought that was probably the most creative video. You can't, if you can't make it out, that is actually an AT-AT. One of the Star Wars robot things moving across. It was really cool.
Yeah, at first it looked like a robot.
Yeah.
I thought you were.
It might be a
out of
robot.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, it might be an Elon Musk robot. We'll be right back.
SJM.
2 great interviews with 2 great individuals. We really appreciate you joining us for the WSJM Morning Show. We had Coach Prattley in. We had Coach Thompson in. St. Joe Bears and Lakeshore Lancers, respectively. Thanks for arranging that, Brett Witkowski. And you're going to be having the game on the air tonight here on WSJM for St. Joe Bear fans. Pre-game starts at
6:35.
6:35, and the game kickoff is usually 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, we'll have Coach Prattley's interview about 6:45.
Okay.
We'll preview that game and obviously all the other playoff games, and then we'll be having updates from around the 3-county area too.
And if you are a Lakeshore Lancer fan, you can listen to Al Pashoka and team on Y Country, our sister station. They will have the Lakeshore Lancers game. So both at the same game. Do you guys throw stuff at each other during the game?
No, they're at the other end. But
okay.
I think this is Al's. I thought he said 32nd year, and this is my 33rd. So
jeez,
I think I went back. So I think they played each other 70 times, 71.
That's amazing.
I think I have been at 61 of those games.
Have we thought about getting some new play-by-play people?
I would.
All right. We've got more to talk about. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We're coming back with ABC News in just a minute. Got to get a couple commercials in, and we'll be back on the video live stream in a sec, too.
Rich Brand and Tara Halsey from Insurance Management Service, your local.
Is this another one of those mornings where you're going to leave me early?
Yeah, I told you that. You know the rule.
Man, oh, man. I mean, Fridays, especially first day of November, isn't it? You gotta, you're just gonna have to take it easy on the day. November.
I don't know what I got going today.
Yeah, what do you got going
I
on?
have any meetings.
Any road meetings or anything like that?
Well, we had a lot during the
Conventions?
week. Waiting for MDOT to make their big announcement for us.
Oh,
at the end of the month.
You got a big announcement coming up.
Yeah.
You told me about that. I won't tell anybody.
A big money announcement.
Oh,
we'll
well,
be
that's
very
good.
thankful for that.
I mean, if you want to tell us about it, you can tell us about it.
I think we're going to have 2 other money announcements in December.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So what do you do?
We're on stage to get a lot of work done next 3 to 4
I was
years.
just going to ask you. I mean, what does a money announcement look like when you get it when the word hits the road, rubber hits the road?
Say that again.
When the word hits the road, when the money hits the road, what does that look like? You gonna do what kind of projects you got?
Roads, bridges,
potholes.
Well, that comes out of our general fund.
Oh, okay.
But to improve our road ratings, you got to do a lot of new roads, and they don't.
All right,
a new road's about $1 million a mile.
$1 million a mile?
If you take it down to the base, if you do an overlay, 200,000-300,000 a mile.
Huh. Okay.
Goes by quick.
What's easier on the tires? Because I got to buy new tires.
Not really. What's easier?
Yeah.
Not
on the
driving
tires.
them. Not driving much.
Oh boy. All right. It's
You still haven't got those tires.
No.
You've been talking about this since May.
No, since May?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll go back and listen. All right. It's 7:59. We've got news coming up in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM FM Benton Harbor St. Joseph. Depend on us. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
All right, it's 7:59, a great hour. Thank you again to Coach Prattley and Coach Thompson for coming in and talking about the big game tonight, the War by the Shore. It's the first playoff game. We've got news from ABC, local news coming up next. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry.
Until I turn on the microphones first before you can say that. Go ahead. Nope.
Have a good week, everybody.
You are funny. All right. It is the weekend.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. It's Mike out there. I just let him wait for a while.
I'm standing in the rain.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you on the WSJM Morning Show. We're going to end the live stream, and we will see you on Monday.